Shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash, Honorable in the Pop from Great Millstone, Tampa. And I want to give double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach over well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the ones listening in. And I want to get into a quick lesson on this article here with an incident that happened with Nolan Wells, all right, which is, a teenager, 18-year-old teenage boy who went on this boating trip, all right. But as you can see with the pictures that's involved in this article, you see he was with some Edomites, man, all right, so-called white men, all right, and this is in Mississippi, all right. So you put two and two together, you already know what honestly happened. But in this article it says detectives haven't found evidence of a crime and mysterious death of Nolan Wells, 18, who went on a boating trip with friends and was left on an island. All right. So last time he was seen, it was with his friends, these Edomite men, all right, or boys, all right. And that was the last time he was seen. And the last video they have of this boy, of Jake, is him arguing with these damn Edomites, man. Now, I bring all this up to say Jake never learns, man. Jake never learned. This has been happening for years. All right, but Jake continued to trust into their oppressor. All right. This nation has oppressed and showed you many times over and over how they don't mess with you, Jakes, bro. All right? And every time they got to understand it or learn it, through death. And it's too late by then. All right? But I'm going to play this video. I'm also read the rest of this whole caption, and I'm going to grab a few scriptures, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect and wants to... It says a video is circulating on TikTok from Haven Island where you can hear arguing from a group on the beach. All right. And this is, as you see it on the video, you got the guys arguing, and they pointed out who Nolan Wells was, all right, in this video. All right. And the caption, it says, detectives haven't found evidence of a crime and mysterious death of Nolan Wells, 18, who went on a boating trip with friends and left on an island. The 18-year-old from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, vanished on July 4th. All right. And this is, tell Jake, bro, to stay out of those large crowds, stay away from Esau, and stop celebrating these wicked-ass holidays, man. But, like I said, it takes these incidents for Jake to understand. And by that time, it's too late. It says vanished on July 4th. So, he was out there, for the holiday, and, hanging out, popping fireworks, and so on. It says, after traveling by boat with friends on Horn Island, a remote barrier island off the Gulf Coast, to celebrate the holiday, his friends returned to mainland without him at that afternoon, believing he had another ride. Reportedly, after he was last seen talking with a girl near the north end of the island, but he was last seen around 3 p.m. on the northwest tip. Okay? It says, notably, Wells did not have his phone with him. It remained on the boat with his friends and was later recovered by his family, preventing any location tracking during the search. His mother reported him missing later that night, prompting a multi-agency search. A body believed to be Wells was found on the island on July 6th and officially identified days later. Authorities, including Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter, have interviewed witnesses and continue to investigate, but they have stated that no evidence of foul play has emerged so far, with the drowning suspected pending full autopsy and toxicology results. Wells' family, who hired civil rights attorney Ben Crump, is seeking answers amid ongoing public speculation. All right, so, and this incident happened, like I said, back in 4th of July, man. All right, and Jake was out there hanging out, trying to have fun with his friends, his so-called friends, and he had to find out, that those were never his friends, but these were oppressors, and what the enemy do? He findeth his way to destroy you. This is Sirach 12, verse 10 in the GNT. Never trust the enemy. His wickedness is as destructive as rust. And this is what you're seeing in this video, is arguing, and it sounds like they cussing his ass out. All right, could be him, but it mainly sounds like it's them cussing him out. All right, and Jake, was still out there, obviously just trying to go hang out with his friends. He probably thought it was just a regular disagreement, but no, man, these devils have been them devils was trying to get his ass for the longest. They always been plotting, but that's what Esau do, is he plots, he waits. And his wickedness is as destructive as rust. All right, so as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. All right, it starts to show. And it was showing at that moment, at that time, they like, know what, bro? We got to take this nigga out. All right, so I 100% do believe that they did it. All right. It says, watch out and be on guard against him, even if he acts ever so humble. He is like a metal mirror that rusts away if you don't keep it polished. Seat an enemy at your right hand, and the next thing you know, he'll be trying to get your own place of honor. Put him next to you, and he will overthrow you. Then you will realize the truth of my words and be stung with regret when you remember them. All right, so this is something we've been prophesying, and just going out and telling Jake to do. Watch out for it. Is these damn devils, bro, to never trust them. All right, because they don't trust your ass to begin with. Their mindset is to overthrow you, and then that's when these words start to resonate and start to actually hit. Is when Jake already on a rope somewhere on a tree, or Jake body's found on an island somewhere. All right, that's when these words start to be reminded, but Jake is so quick to trust these devils, all right, and try to be all, on the same side and be at peace with these devils, but that's not their mindset. As you can see, this is not what they want to do, all right? So what we told Jake was what? To stay far away as possible from these damn devils. Don't try to get too comfortable and too cool with them. All right? I don't mean you just go out there and start whooping every Edomite ass, but I don't mean you just be brothers and friends with all their ass either. All right? It says, let me see. Akio. It says, verse 13, nobody feels sorry for snake charmers or wild animal tamers who get bitten. So we don't feel sorry for Jake, bro. Because Jake know. Jake heard it before. Jake is in Mississippi, man. Where there's sundown cities. Okay? So we don't feel bad because it's the same thing with a snake charmer. A wild animal tamers who get bitten. You played with the snake. You played with the wild animal. And you got bitten. How can we feel bad for you for playing with him? All right? You sit there, you play with Esau. You want to be, buddy with him. Now you found on the island, it's like, we already knew that was going to come. You had it with the Jake woman not too long ago. She was with the Edomite husband. I forgot, her name and, the whole go-abouts. But she was found dead as well. All right? And a lot of these Jake women, they like going over there to Esau's side and being in his bed and all these other different things. And they always end up going missing. All right? Because they hate the Jake men. All right? And they feel some type of way. So they end up go missing. And because they want to go mess with the Edomite. It says, verse 14, and nobody will feel sorry for you if you run around with sinners and get involved in their wrongdoings. All right? So, ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you, bro. When you sit there, you get yourself involved with the wrong people. All right, with your damn enemies. Okay? And you get, judged for it. All right? This is, I want to drop down. Actually, I'll just get verse 15 as well. It says, an enemy will stay with you for a while, but not when trouble comes. He will speak fine words while he plots how to trap you. He will pretend to share your sorrows, but he will kill you if he gets a chance. Oh, Wells, we feel bad for what happened to you in slavery. That's what they always say. They always want to bring that up. I had he might try to bring that up with me. He might work at my job. He was saying how he went over there. I forgot where he went, what state it was, but, he tried to bring up the whole, our history and what happened down there and all these different things. And nobody asked. Nobody said anything, but it was just that way of him trying to, gain my trust. But, bros, we own these devils. You know how these devils act, bro. Ain't nobody for to trust you, nigga. So I was just, oh, yeah, okay. And just kept it going. Because no matter how much they say they feel sorry and feel bad about it, we know deep down they don't. They want that to come back again. They want to experience it again in this life. All right? It says, if trouble comes your way, you will find him waiting, ready to trip you up while he pretends to help you. He will be a different person then, rubbing his hands, nodding his head, and spreading rumors about you. And that's what the enemy does, man. All right? And Esau is the main enemy, the main antagonist of this story. So every way possible, in each of these damn Edomites, they're going to try to find a way to overthrow you. All right? Plotting against you, in a way. Okay? And all this is doing is rising tension throughout America, more tension. And that's why I got this scripture as well. All right? It's rising more tension and bringing a division. All right? A race war. Okay? It says, let's see, Mark 3 and verse 24. It says, a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. Similarly, a family splintered by feuding will fall apart. And if Satan is divided and fights against himself, how can he stand? He would never survive. And that's all this is doing, is bringing that division within America Babylon. All right, there was always a division, but it can no longer be propaganda that shows that we're united, or not even just, you can't even fake it no more. America can't fake the division, okay? Because now it's starting to be shown. All right, now it's starting to get evident. Now blood is starting to shed through this division. Okay, and this is what's happening. Esau's rising up against Esau. So it's gonna be all different type of wars, race wars, civil wars. All right, but it's gonna be a war within America itself. A kingdom divided by civil war, all right, will collapse. All right, and this is how America going out, bro, just like Rome. Okay, so with that, I just want to get into a quick lesson, and I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Once again, the honors to elders and apostles, a great millstone who teach you well.